It is your host with the most, Shadow Loke, back at you with another video. Make sure you guys like and make sure you comment and share if possible, because that does help my channel. That's how I'll get into the algorithm. I would highly appreciate it if you guys were to go ahead and do that. It's free. You won't be charged. Nothing like that. So help me out and hit that like and subscribe. Now, what I wanted to talk about today was police brutality. About the police officers, my opinion overall on, you know, their precincts, their way of behaving, incidents, and stuff like that. Well, I want to send first my condolence to the family of Tyree Nichols, who was beaten in Tennessee by police officers. People were telling me if to give my 2 cents on this on my other channel, right? And what is my opinion overall on the subject? Well, overall, my opinion is F the police, homie. You already know what's up, homie. Them fools are snakes. F them fools. Nah, I'm just playing. Nah, but without jokes to the side, I'm not one of the ones that I know people are thinking, yeah, another gang member was going to talk about law enforcement and be insulting them and say all this crazy, stupid stuff. No, that's not what my channel's about, and that's not how I carry myself. Despite what individuals think. I'm someone who comes and speaks about facts and truths, bro. No lies and without being biased. I know a lot of people can't control their egos and their emotions. But I give my opinions non-biased. Now, when I give my opinions and when I'm speaking on stuff, even though I may not like, what I'm saying, I mean, it's the truth at the end of the day. So regardless of how I feel, we got to spit the truth. Law enforcement, when individuals say that they're corrupted and crooked and all of that, not all of them are like that, but a lot of them are. And I'm not here to hate on them or, talk down on them, because at the end of the day, they're just doing their jobs, right? That's their job. They're there to, uphold justice and, make sure the communities are safe for individuals. I agree. You know what I mean? The thing is that not all of these police officers are like this, but a lot of them are, where they do a lot of shady, scandalous, and even break the law themselves. They plant evidence, they beat, they harass, they do a lot of stuff that, everyday people just don't get to see. Now, you can say, well, that's what they get for choosing the life. Very true. But now, if you're now breaking the law, and if now you're going up against what you took an oath, to do, because all that stuff is illegal and you're not allowed to do that. So now you became just like them. Now you're no better than them. Now, just out of revenge, out of spite, out of all that, you're going to go ahead and do that. So what separates the two? You know why Batman never killed none of the people that, none of the villains? Is because he said as soon as he does that, then he'll just become just like them. Then there will be no difference. And that's the reason why Batman never kills. Fun fact. No, that's a really good lesson that's in there that I like that they threw. Because it's true. You know what I mean? Just because an individual does something to you doesn't mean that it's okay for you to do it to them, because now it's like you just became like them. Everything that you hate about that individual, you are now doing and became. So what's the difference? You yourself are saying that you're above all of that, right? That's what separates you two, that you're not like them. So now you're doing them tactics. It's like, really? You know what I mean? But emotions do take over. A lot of individuals, if they would just comply, none of this would happen, right? I'm not saying that that's what happened with Tyree. But I'm saying overall with these individuals, why people, throw their opinions. Now, who do I say is right? Well, neither side is right, right? In this case of him, yes, the law enforcement are guilty. They did that. They beat him. That was one of the worst beatings and video I have ever seen, bro. It was very disturbing. It was ridiculous. It was outlandish. It was crazy, bro. I don't know what the hell they were thinking, especially knowing you had body cam. Like, I don't know what the hell they were thinking, bro. They lost their minds. Or maybe they thought because so many law enforcement officers were involved, they would be able to, how can I say, like, back each other up, right? Like, create this fake story. And since so many of them are on board, they'll have to believe it. But, I mean, They ain't gonna just take motherfuckers' words for it. Now you gotta use that video. We're talking about a dead body right here, my boy. We ain't gonna take your word. You gotta cough up your body cam. Nah, how they did him was scandalous. Now they were all black officers. You know what I mean? So people can't even say that it was a racist thing. It wasn't. It was. It was sheerly based off of rage and based out of being prejudiced. You know what I mean? Just because they seen him as a no good person, I guess, in the streets or whatever, even though he wasn't like that. But they were just judging, right? They were quick to judge. One of the things that I say that is wrong with law enforcement, I know I hear a lot of people throw a bunch of stupid shit in there, like defund the police, like remove police officers. That is the most stupidest things I have ever heard in my goddamn life. Those are problems that are not going to fix anything. It's only going to make stuff worse. People need to get their heads out of there, you know what, because they literally speak on stuff without even knowing, trying to be cool. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know. We're not 13 years old here where that kind of stuff is going to impress us, where you're saying they should remove the police officers. Like, yeah. Like, come back with a real idea, bro. One of my problem with law enforcement is that I feel like, you know, they need to improve on, or they need to mandate, or stuff like that, is law enforcement. They're training, right, in order to become police officers or whatever. They're their physical fitness and all of that, right? They concentrate on physical fitness and other activities that's more has to do with stamina and strength and stuff like that, right? And putting them in scenarios and training them like that, right? But what they don't ever do is psychological training, right? Because law enforcement have to deal with a lot on a day-to-day. They deal with people who are questioning and testing their religion, their ideologies, their ethnicity, their sexuality, their pride, testing everything, right? Because they're getting insulted, and there's people are saying this and that, and they're dealing with racist individuals and criminal individuals and rapists and child molesters, and they're dealing with a lot that ordinary people don't have to have to deal with on a day-to-day, right? And they walk in and they see crime scenes, and they see a lot of horrendous stuff and a lot of sad stuff and a lot of crazy stuff, bro, that they go through, right? And when you're not mentally prepared for that, it's gonna take its toll. It's gonna take a toll. Why a lot of police officers tend to drink, and a lot of them are divorced, and a lot of them are just angry, just because of all the madness that they have seen. It does take a toll on an individual, on any individual. We all have feelings and stuff like that when we see certain things we don't like. If we see an adult beating a kid, like severely beating him, we're all gonna feel some type of way, and our anger is probably gonna take over. So these guys have to do their job, and stay professional, right? Because that's their profession, so they got to keep it professional, so they got to follow their rules and still keep their emotions on check, bro, which is something that's very difficult to do if you're not properly trained, right? Right, because like I said, they're getting put through all kinds of scenarios, and they don't know how to deal with it. They don't know how to read body language. They don't know how to read people. They don't know how to de-escalate situations, because they're not properly trained for none of that. They pass their obstacle fitness or their fitness test or whatever, and then it's like, bam, here you go. Yeah, you're a cop now. We're gonna go you in the training, but they don't do it. Sit down and get down to the psychological part of all of this, because even though their job does have to do with physical and fitness and stuff like that, a majority of their job is mental, bro. How to be able to arrive and read a scenario, how to de-escalate it, how to be able to read body language and judge individuals. But a lot of these guys, they come in there and guns are blazing. Their belt consists of like batons, nightstick, pepper spray, taser. Yet they grab the gun straight off the bat, and it's like, why do you have the rest of the stuff there for then? Because you guys straight go for the gun straight off the bat, and it's like the guy has a knife or a pencil, and you reach for your gun. I don't understand. Then what's the purpose of having all those other devices in your damn belt? or like the one that had there was a a guy who was in a I don't know if it was a Kmart or whatever, and he was shooting people in there, right? And one of the SWAT team guys grabbed a rifle or whatever, and he went in there guns a blazing, and he ended up killing a little girl. And it's like, bro, like, because he let his emotions take over, bro. And it's like, you gotta control yourself. um like I said, their job is hard enough because they're getting slandered and they're getting grilled, and a lot of shit's going on, right? But a lot of the stuff they brought upon themselves, But I'm not just saying like law enforcement, but I mean there's some they're the ones that are in charge, right? Because they don't ever fix the problems, They just make it harder now for their law enforcement officers. Instead of training them, is what they're asking you to do. Train them better, not to cut their hours, not to put more surveillance on your own police officers. Train them better, because like that now they just don't care even more when you're just sweating them, because now they know that their superiors don't even have their back. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's about training them better, mentally, for they could be mentally prepared for these situations. But no, they rather you buy more guns and put more, men out there who are not even trained for these kind of scenarios. You're never fixing the problem by giving them more weapons, by putting more men in the streets. You're not fixing the problem like that. You're just putting more people who are this way out into the streets to, flare tempers even more. That's not fixing the problem. And it's crazy that they're not even able to come up with good solutions, like the ones that are in charge. Like, that's their only job, to sit on the table and come up with some ideas. Can't even do that. Um, it's crazy, bro. Then people defund the police and all kinds of, like, those are dumb ideas too, bro. You need law enforcement officers in there, because without them, trust me, people would be running mucks, bro. They wouldn't even give a fuck. And then who are you gonna call? Not Ghostbusters, I'll tell you that much. Um, so I think they need to train them more mentally better. Overall, is my opinion, right? Because like I said, some of them are good people, some of them are just doing their damn job. They're not all assholes out there with a chip on their shoulder. You know, um, like I said, in my time being in the streets, bro, a lot of them have done scandalous stuff. Beat-ins, beat-in, dropped off in my enemy's territory, planet stuff on us, um, falsified, shit. And I'm not making this up, bro. I never got to lie about nothing, bro. When I used to hear individuals tell these stories, I used to be like, this was tripping. He just doesn't want to say that he was fucking up or whatever. Until I started seeing it for myself and it started happening to me. And I'm just like, damn, dog. This whole entire time I thought fools were just like lying, fool. The fools just didn't want to say that they got caught or whatever. But nah, sure enough. And it's wild, bro. I know people are not gonna believe that. Why should they believe me? I'm just a guy from the streets. The people are gonna want to believe whatever they want to believe. You know what I mean? I'm not here to convince you otherwise. I'm just here to, tell it for what it is. And that's the thing. Even before, people used to say, "Oh, these gang members are liars," and now when the body camera starts coming out and people now start seeing these officers for what they really do, they're like, "Damn." Like, because you see so many videos of them breaking the law, and it's like, damn. And it's like, we told y'all, when we were telling you guys that law enforcement was doing this, nobody believed us because we're the bad guys or whatever. There was no reason for us to lie, bro. They were doing this stuff since back then. It's just that now you have proof. So when people were saying it even back then, bro, they ain't lying, bro. But like I said, a lot of these individuals, why are they breaking the law to begin with? And they should, if they got caught, then, them running and everything, they're making shit worse and they get killed. Yes, all true. But like I said, law enforcement still has to hold themselves to the law, though. It doesn't give them a free pass to now break the law. And that's one other subject that people don't ever think about when they want to throw their ideas in there of like, well, why did they run or why did they do? That's what they get. And it's like, man, and you're a Christian and you go to church and you're not from the streets, and with that kind of mentality, good. That's what they get. Wishing death and harm upon somebody? That don't sound like a good person to me, bro. Sounds like somebody from the streets, with that kind of mentality. So what you mad for? Seems like you got a lot of things in common with these individuals when it comes to mentalities. So what separates you guys? Find out. But I overall think that that's basically what I think that they should do. But what are your guys' opinion? How do you think they should fix the problem? Leave it in the comments. And Shadow, we out.